Sorley MacLean was one of the most significant Scottish poets of the 20th century. Early life. He was born at MacRusgail on the island of Raasay on 26 October 1911, where Scottish Gaelic was the first language. He attended the University of Edinburgh and was an avid shinty player for the university team. After earning a first-class degree, he returned to the Highland and Island community to teach. He was instrumental in preserving the teaching of Gaelic in Scottish schools. MacLean turned away from the Presbyterian faith of his community in his early teens. Like many European intellectuals of that day, his sympathies moved to the far left. Much of his work touched on specifically political themes and references, and his position was overtly Stalinist until the mid-1940s. Although he was never a member of the Communist Party of Great Britain, he was also a skilled and delicate writer of love poetry. He served with the British Army in North Africa during World War II and was wounded on 3 occasions, once severely during the Battle of El Alamein. Poetry. His early poetry was in English, but after writing his first Gaelic poem, A Chora Grithich, he decided that it was far better than his English work, and resolved to continue using his native language. By the mid-1930s he was well known as a writer in this tongue. In November 1943, his first individual collection of poems was published, Dain Du I'm Here Agus Dainile. It became one of the most important books published in Gaelic in the 20th century. His work in the field of Gaelic poetry at a time when very few writers of substance were working in Scottish Gaelic at all, has led to his being viewed as the father of the Scottish Gaelic Renaissance. He was involved in the foundation and was a board member of Savile Moros Sky. His poetry articulated in Gaelic the crimes of the 20th century, and modernized and reinvigorated the language in the process, drawing clear and articulate analogies between such tragedies and acts of cultural genocide as the 19th century Scottish Highland clearances, and the contemporary viciousness and injustice of events in places such as Biafra and Rwanda. Major among his works was Halaik, a meditative poem on the desolation associated with the Highland clearances, named after a cleared village on the east coast of his native Isle of Raasay. A film of the same name was made in 1984 by Timothy Need. In this, MacLean discusses the dominant influences on his poetry, with commentary by Ian Crichton-Smith and Seamus Heaney, and substantial passages from the poem and other work, along with extracts of Gaelic song. The poem also forms part of the lyrics of Peter Maxwell Davies' opera The Jacobite Rising, and MacLean's own reading of it in English and in Gaelic was sampled by Martin Bennett in his album Bothy Culture for a track of the same name. Later life. He married Kathryn Cameron, the daughter of Inverness builder Kenneth Cameron of Cameron and Munro. He had 3 daughters, in descending order of age: Ishbel, Katrina and Mary. He had 6 her children, again in descending age order: Somhail, Aomas, Callum, Gillisbig, Catherine and Donald. His first great-her child, Yuli Mrua Iri, was born in 2010. He was creative writer in residence at the University of Edinburgh from 1973 to 1975, and was named as the first University of Edinburgh alumnus of the year in 1990. He died on 24 November 1996, aged 85, from natural causes, in Scotland. Somhail MacGillian is commemorated in Macar's Court, outside the Writers' Museum, Laundmarket, Edinburgh. Selections for Macar's Court are made by the Writers' Museum, the Saltire Society, the Scottish Poetry Library. Works, From Wood to Ridge, Dain Du I'm Here, and Kilithia 1939. Sorley MacLean, Collected Poems, Bibliography, Anthologies 4 Points of a Saltire, Reprographia 1971, Macaulay, Donald. Nu Abardaged Gaelic, Modern Scottish Gaelic Poems, a bilingual anthology. New Directions, New York, pp. 70-115. A Mergorm, The Blue Rampart, Kamhana Each Dawn, A New Aira Labras Mimu Aodan. When I speak of the face, Chad assured Abwiriada imh, never has such turmoil been put, Gaoirnrheorp, the cry of Europe, and Rohan, the choice coin is Madadi and Alai, dogs and wolves, Chora Grithich, the heron, Halaig, Coiltian Rathas, the wood of Rasi, Bangatiel, Highland woman, Glac Death Valley, Lather Fog Hair, An Autumn Day, Aigh Yates, at Yates's grave,